So once upon a time, it all started many a year back when I began learning Portuguese. Now I had an advantage because I came to Brazil. I was living here, so I don't really remember actually studying the language. But this was the basis for integrating skills in how all this came to be. So I remember that when I was learning Portuguese, there were three basic things that I did, which was watching lots of TV, reading magazines, and talking with people. I remember there was one show in particular that I enjoyed. Watching TV is fun, so it doesn't really seem like you're studying. But there was this program called Jaspião. It's actually a Japanese show, but it was in Portuguese. A channel who no longer exists here had bought the rights to play the series. And although I didn't realize this at the time, they played all of the episodes except the final one. And of course, you know, when you read a book or you watch a movie, you want to find out what happens at the end, right? So I would watch the series, and in this, program, the guy Jaspião was looking for the golden bird to help him overcome the great evil of the universe, and this golden bird held the key to destroying evil and blah, 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 all that stuff, But anyways, because I never saw the final episode, every day I would turn on the TV and watch it hoping that they were going to show the last episode. And maybe that was one of the reasons that I watched this program over and over. And through that, I began to assimilate large chunks of the language and developed my listening skills. So when people ask me today how I learned Portuguese, I usually joke and say that it was because I watched Jaspião. And then I also remember reading magazines, and this was a great way for me to pick up vocabulary. You can do this as well. So what I would do was take a magazine based on a specific theme, like politics, or you can take one based on health or skateboarding or running, whatever you enjoy, and read several articles. Now, what was interesting was that as I would read these articles, I would underline the words that I didn't know. And after reading 2 or 3 articles, I would go back and realize that some of the words I had underlined previously, I had begun to understand. Through negotiating the meaning in the context, I was able to go back and understand those words even though I didn't use a dictionary or hadn't used a dictionary. So then I would go back, and the words that I still didn't know, even after reading several articles, I would look up the meanings in the dictionary, of course, and then try to learn those words through the use of flashcards or whatever system I was using at the time. But it's a great way for you to learn vocabulary. And by focusing on specific themes, you see those same words used several times. So you begin to negotiate the meaning and assimilate that word so you can use it on your own. And then I would go out and talk with people about what I was learning and try to use those words. So it's just like Junior shared in that video we just recorded, if you've watched it, about overloading your brain with the language, he specifically mentioned that he would come to me and try to speak in English using those words, even though it sounded kind of crazy. So basically, that's what you need to do. Just take everything you're learning and go and use it with others.